Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ready, Set, Engage, Building a Loyal Following with Facebook Timeline. I hope you are going to be ready to learn a lot of information today. If you have a pen and paper handy, it might be a good idea so you can take some notes. Making sure this time around that I don't cram my slides with a whole bunch of information, so I am going to be talking during the presentation and giving you some information, and I just want you to make sure that you are going to be able to take care and take some notes as we go through here. Also want to let you know if you by any chance are a big Twitter person and if you wanted to comment about the webinar today on Twitter. My username is @GloriaRand, and the hashtag is pound FBT, as in Facebook Timeline Webinar. So let's get going here now, and I'm just going to kind of go over a little bit here what you are going to learn on our webinar today. We're going to be talking about how to build community on Facebook and how to be able to get your content seen, and then also how to engage your fan base, because this is going to be crucial. The way the changes have happened with Facebook Timeline, it makes it a little bit challenging, but not really. It's still basically fundamentally the same type of thing, but there are some different tricks and strategies that you're going to need to know so that you can use this tool to build your business and to grow it. So, hello, there we go. Now, some of you may have heard of me who are on the webinar today, and some of you may have not. So for those of you who have not, just a little background about me. I used to be a writer and producer for the Nightly Business Report on PBS. I worked for them for a good long time and had a great opportunity to really produce a business news show, which was a lot of fun. I also did launched a similar business news program for Florida's News Channel, which was a statewide all news channel. So that's kind of how that was my background. But then once we moved to, our family moved to Central Florida, and I decided to pursue SEO copywriting, and I launched my own business from home. So, like many of you on the call today, I am a small business owner. In fact, I was privileged to be included in this book called Mogul Mom, about how to quit your job, start your own business, and join the work-at-home mom revolution. So there, it was cool. I was asked to participate in that, and there's some different tips in there of how I've been able to, be a stay-at-home mom and then also be able to be a business owner as well and grow my business. And recently I had completed Mari Smith's Extreme Fan Base Growth Facebook Training course, so that's what that little symbol is on there, and that's part of the reason why that I decided to do this webinar, is because I learned a bunch of new strategies through that course, and I wanted to be able to share them with you. So that's a little bit about me. So now let's just get right into it. So Facebook, as you may or may not know, as of at least last December, had about 845 million users. I'm sure that's more by now, and I think they're projecting, possibly to have 1 billion by either next year, I guess, is what I've heard, the latest thing. But so, I mean, that's a huge, it's like its own economy, essentially. In fact, I think it's bigger than a couple, I don't know how many countries it's bigger than. So you want to do business with these people, so you really need to make sure that you know how best to be able to use this tool to promote your brand, to promote your products and services, and be able to connect with your audience. And, love it or hate it, Timeline is here to stay, at least, for the next, who knows, year or so, and 2 years until Facebook decides they want to tweak it again. So that is one thing. Just as an aside here, you do need to realize, as I'm sure if you've been involved in social media for any time, that just when you get used to it, things change. So you have to learn to roll with the punches. But for now, anyway, timeline is here, and we're gonna, I'm going to try to show you, well, not try, I am going to show you some ways that you can use this new format to be able to connect with your customers. And as we go in here, just as another aside to remember, it's not about selling. Social media is a social instrument, so it's more about telling and talking to your fans and talking to your customers and sharing information with them that's going to be useful for them. So you need to put yourself in their shoes, and remember what's in it for them, not necessarily what's in it for you, because if you become a trusted resource and you are providing good quality information and tips and also making social media fun, then those people, your fans, are going to be more likely to continue following you. They're going to pay attention to what you have to say. They're going to refer you to their friends and then do business with you. So that's the whole ultimate goal here, is what we're trying to do. So, ready. Here's what we're going to do. How are you going to build community? You've got to get ready, and you need to make sure that you have the components of your Facebook page ready, and that you have everything set up properly so that your customers can recognize what you're about, what you offer them right at a glance. So we're going to kind of touch now, we're going to start focusing on these three primary areas right now at first here. So going into the cover photo, Facebook does have certain rules about what you can put on this cover photo. They're intending it, now even though business pages are, you think, okay, we're an advertising medium now, because we're trying to be able to connect with our customers. But Facebook doesn't really want you to advertise, to use this cover photo as an advertisement. They want this to be more of like a branding tool, a way of, it's your chance to be personal, and there are certain things that they don't want in here. So for instance, this company is called DoSomething.org. So, okay, that's the name of their company. And they did one thing good, was that over here in the corner, this is the profile picture. They put the link, and obviously it's the name of their company, and they put their link right there, their URL, the DoSomething.org, in that profile picture, which is great. That's fine. Facebook doesn't have any rules against that. They prefer that you put your logo in there, but they don't say you can't put your URL. Now, this company did, though, as you see my little arrow pointing up here, they do have this little banner. Okay, I guess it's from a picture that they put in the cover photo where it says, this banner says DoSomething.org, but this is putting the URL into the cover photo, which Facebook does not want you to do. So, okay, it's part of another picture, so, it's kind of, I think they're kind of treading water here a little bit, and I think they're kind of flouting this rule a little bit. I recommend for all of you to be safe. It's better to be safe than sorry. So don't put your URL in your cover photo if you can at all help it, because it is entirely possible that Facebook, might ban your page. I mean, if you're a small business, they may not notice it. And this company, though, has 200,000 fans. You would think they are in the Facebook is paying attention to them, but I guess for now anyway, they're letting this slide. But I just recommend, don't put the URL in your cover photo. Be safe, and you'll do a lot better. Now, this is another, I love this picture from this photographer. Great pictures of kids. It really grabs your eye. I love the balloons. So when you're doing a cover photo, make it something that is going to be really eye-catching to your fans. So for that part of it, it's great. However, they included something else here that is not allowed under the Facebook rules. It says, "Welcome to my fan page. Click the like button to follow." Facebook specifically says that you are not to put a call to action like asking people to like or share the page. So you don't want to do this. So I put this together a while ago, but I may go back and double check her Facebook page, and if it still has it here, I think I'm going to send her a message and clue her in, because she may very well not know that she's not supposed to say that, but I don't want her to get into trouble with Facebook. So make sure that you don't put any kind of call to action like that. Don't say click to like. You're gonna get into trouble. There's another way you might be able to get around this, which we'll talk about a little bit later. I'll give you a little hint one way you could maybe do it. Now here's another. I just kind of put this. This isn't a real page. This is my dummy page that I use when I'm doing Facebook training, my Acme Consulting page. So I put together this cover photo again just to show you some more things that you're not supposed to do. You do not. Facebook again does not want you to put your address. They don't want it. They don't want your physical address. They don't want an email address. They don't want your website URL. In there, because there is a location for that to go in, which is the About section, which we'll get to in just a minute. So, and then the other thing they don't want you to do as well is to have any kind of mention Facebook to save 10%. They don't want you to put any kind of information regarding to sales. Again, they don't want it salesy, essentially, is the deal here. They want it to be just, like I said, make it personal, make it reflect your brand, but they don't want it to be overtly salesy in there. So now let's kind of look at, on the flip side here, some cover photos that are good. And I'll point out, these are some things that you can keep in mind when you are creating your cover photo for your timeline page. Now this is Susan G. Komen for The Cure. And now see, they've got in their little profile picture here in the corner, they've got their logo, which is great, and then they've got their URL, and that's fine. So you can definitely do this. Now, of course, when this profile picture also shows up when you're in your statuses and your status posts and when you're posting on your wall, and it gets reduced really, really tiny, so probably no one's going to see that URL. But when they do visit their page, they are going to see it, so they'll know that if they want to get more information about this, they'll be able to go to that website address. But then the other thing that's great here is for those of you who I'm sure probably heard of this organization by now, but of course they do these walks to raise money for breast cancer. And so, this picture is great. It's showing all these women, who are lined up for the race and, and wearing their pink. So, and what's also cool about it is, it's everybody's smiling, and it really gives you a good feeling. So if there's a way that you can generate some kind of really good positive feeling on your Facebook page, as well with that cover photo, it's gonna do you well. So that's a good one. Oops, there we go. Okay, and now this one I wanted to include, one that's as opposed to an organization, but to show you an example from a company. And Burt's Bees, if you have never visited Burt's Bees Facebook page, I encourage you to do so, because they are a company that really knows how to use Facebook effectively. As you can see, they've got over 1 million fans. I mean, that's mind-boggling. So they're obviously doing something right here. And here are a couple things about what they're doing right. Again, they've got their logo in the profile picture, so with even the tag, their tagline too, "Nature Becomes You," so that's great. But then this image itself, it's very simple, but very, very well made. It has, it's focusing on, some of their lip products. It's got a simple little advertising message. Beautiful lips have something to say. showing the model's lips over here. So this is really nice. It's simple. It's not too complicated, but it gets the point across. You know what you're going to see when you come to this page. Now, one thing I should point out to you is, okay, you're probably thinking, okay, well, great, yeah, Burt's Bees, they've got 1 million fans and they're like a huge company and they've got probably a huge advertising budget. Well, I'm a small business owner. How am I going to deal with that? How am I going to come up with a nice picture like this? Well, here's good news. You don't have to spend a fortune to create a cover photo for your Facebook page. If you go to Google and you Google free Facebook timeline cover photo, you will come up with a list of all sorts of companies that are offering, they have templates that you can customize, and you can come up with a nice looking cover that isn't going to cost you something. Some of them do charge you a moderate amount. I've seen, I think, like one, maybe 10, 15 bucks or something, or maybe even 50. But if it's, you're spending time on Facebook and you want to be able to present a good image to your customers, then it might be worth spending, a few bucks. But certainly try to build something that's free. And if you have any friends who are graphic designers, or if you have a graphic designer on, that you handles maybe your website, for instance, ask them to help you out and coming up with a cover photo for your page. And like I said, it doesn't have to cost a fortune, but you can come up with something that is very good. Excuse me 1 second, I just need to grab a drink of water. Sorry about that. All right, so I hope you understand a little bit better now about what you need to do with the cover photo in order to make that effective for your audience. Now, the section that Facebook says, this is where you can put information like your address or a phone number or a URL, is the About section, and this comes underneath your cover photo. Underneath, it shows up underneath the name of your page. And what is nice about this is an improvement over the old Facebook page style, is you have more room. So they are giving you a fair enough room where you can put a long sentence or 2 short sentences. You can include the URL for your website here. This is a great place to be able to put that. You can include a call to action. You can include a phone number if you want. Maybe you're active on Twitter or Pinterest or LinkedIn, and one of those, you can put the URL, say, hey, follow me on Twitter, and put your URL for that. So be creative, but also keep in mind that this section is really to kind of let people know what your business is all about. So you need to keep it as short as you can, but make it concise, and really just use this opportunity to say, hey, this is what I do, this is why you need to pay attention to my page, and why you would want to be a fan. And the one thing I should point out too is if you have a Facebook place, if you have, like, say, a restaurant or something where you've got a brick and mortar business, so you've got a Facebook place, it automatically populates this area with your address, your phone number, and I believe the hours of operation. So if you wanted to put something else in there other than that, you really can't. But the only way you can do it is maybe on the address line. If you take out your address and then type in a line of type instead in place of that, that would be a way to get around it. It's not as pretty, but that is one option to be able to do that. Okay, now we're going to talk about apps, and this is kind of one of the more major changes that has happened with Timeline. If you remember, on the old style Facebook page, you had these tabs on the left-hand side of the wall. And this was where you could list, if you have a custom welcome tab, for instance, or if you had, events and you had videos, or you had your, all the different kind of apps that you could put in there, like maybe a Twitter feed or your blog, what have you. So now the way it's been done now, it's been converted, is that what gets displayed is only 4 when someone comes to your timeline. And the first one is always going to stay the same, and that is your photos that you've uploaded to Facebook. But the other 3 can be whatever app you have, and you can rearrange these. You can change the order of them any way you want. And what's also nice is that you can customize these, which I'm going to get to in a second. But that's basically it. And then if you notice the little number 12 here, right to the right of this box, this shows that you can have more than 12 apps, but you will have, if you have at least 12 or any number more than 3, or more than 4, then anyone who comes to your timeline page, including yourself, if you click on that little triangle, what's going to happen is this is going to open up, and you'll be able to see all 12 of the apps that you have. So if you notice here, I've got quite a different variety here. I've got some of my other social networks that I belong to, like LinkedIn and Google+, and then I have some others that some other apps that I have, like Fan of the Week and Top Fans and things like that. So if, for instance, if you had built a custom landing tab before, a custom welcome page for your thing, now you'll probably have noticed by now that you don't have a default view to that anymore. The default view for anyone who comes to your Facebook timeline page is always going to be the wall. So that's not to say then that you can't still use your welcome tab that you had before, or any other custom tab that you had built. The thing is, if you want people to see it, is you're going to have to use the URL from that tab. So when you're looking at it, there's going to be, you'll look up at the top of the page, you need to copy that URL and then post that as a separate status update on Facebook, or maybe you tweet it out on Twitter and say, hey, become a fan of my page. You send them that link, and then they will be able to go to that welcome tab. And the nice thing, one nice thing about it is they are wider than they used to be, so that they do look nicer when you go to them. Now, if you wanted to be able to, one thing I do recommend doing is, especially if you have an app that came from somewhere else, like, for instance, I use Constant Contact as my email service provider. So when you install their app, it gives you their logo, for instance, in the picture. Now, I didn't want to use their logo. I want to use something that conveys to my fans really why they need to sign up and join my mailing list, which, by the way, I highly recommend that if you haven't installed some sort of way of connecting Facebook to be able to capture email addresses from your Facebook fans, I recommend doing this highly. Only about 1 in 10 companies actually leverage Facebook in this way, and this, because it's, it does require, a lot of patience and consistency to be able to market to people on Facebook. But if you can get their email address, it's much more effective, because now you can be in touch with them, either weekly, or if you send out maybe a monthly newsletter to them. As long as once you get that email address, then you're going to be able to market to them much more consistently than you can do through Facebook. But anyway, just throwing that out there. So, for getting back to the point here, though, for customizing, so if I wanted to, say I wanted to change the image, and I wanted to change the tab name as well, because I believe it says, like, join my list. Well, I changed that. So you would put your mouse in here, and you change the name to whatever you want to call that tab, and then when you want to change the image, you click on that this little change thing, and then what happens is a new page opens up, and again you can see here now that this is where you will be able to change the image. Now of course this is the image that I have up here now, and see that's why I changed it. So I'm saying, I'm essentially put a call to action right here in the image saying free report. This is the name of my free report. So I'm hoping that people will click on that and be able to, when they do click on it, they'll be taken to my a form where they'll be able to sign up for my email newsletter and put in their email address. So again, you click change again. It's sort of like they're making you work twice here. They've got like a double opt-in thing. And then you get this other new window again pops up here now where you will be able to upload your image, and you can choose the file for it. Now, if you notice here, Facebook does tell you if the image is larger than 111 by 74 pixels, that they're going to resize it and convert it. That when they do this, it may or may not look good. So you're going to have to kind of play around with it. Ideally, what you should do is create an image that is exactly 111 by 74 pixels, because then that will work the best, and then you won't have to worry about it. So keep that in mind when you're deciding to customize that. Okay, I want to throw another little fact out here for you. Is most fans will only see your content in their newsfeed. I believe it's like, I think I heard like maybe 1% of people, once they like a Facebook page, they don't go back to the wall. And the only way that they are going to be able to know what is going on with your page is through their newsfeed. So that means that you've got to be consistently putting good quality content out. Now, another problem, though, is the fact that only about 16 or 17% of your fans, of your total fans, are only going to see your content in their newsfeed. There's so many pages and so many people that we're trying to stay in contact with, and Facebook has said, they've admitted that you're only going to be able to see that many. So it really, even more now, is making it more challenging, really, for small business owners especially to be able to get their content seen. So what I always recommend is that you need to post something every day. I mean, or at least, let's put it this way, I would say at least 5 out of 7 days. Make sure that you're posting when your audience is on Facebook. So if they are on during the weekends, then you might want to post on the weekends. If they're just there Monday through Friday, then concentrate on posting Monday through Friday. And make sure that you're also sending content when your audience is on there, not just the day, but the time of day as well. So it might be early in the morning, it might be late at night. I've been experimenting lately with posting, really in the evening, and I've gotten a lot more engagement on my page when I post things like, after 9 o'clock, frankly. So you have to kind of experiment with your fan base and see. But if you are having trouble with getting people to like and comment on your content, so try to do that. So now we're going to as kind of a good transition here. So now we're going to concentrate even more on how to get your content seen. So now we've got the page ready. Now we just want to make sure now that we've got everything else set. So I'm going to talk about now a few more of the new features that specifically come with Timeline. And one of those is the ability to pin a post to the top of the page. So this can be useful for you if, for instance, you're running a contest, which, by the way, is an excellent way to be able to get engagement on your page, especially once you kind of get like maybe 400, 500 fans, so that you've got a good base to build with. But if you run a contest and you put a little image out there about it, a photo about it, telling people what to do, as you can see in this example from Call the Doc, then all you'll have to do is once you post that on your Facebook page, you go up to the corner of your status or your photo or whatever you're posting on here, and when you do this, a little pencil icon will appear, and when you do is you click on where it says pin to top, and then the post is automatically moved up. So wherever this can be like an older post, it doesn't even have to be a new one, but any older ones you can do this to, and it'll show up at the very top of your timeline, and you can tell that it's been pinned because it has this little ribbon icon here. So the thing, though, you do have to keep in mind is that Facebook only allows you to pin posts to the top of your page for 7 days. After that, it automatically gets unpinned. So there's some kind of different school of thoughts here on what you should do. So you could leave it up for the whole week. You could find something, maybe you have, besides a contest you're running, maybe maybe you have some sort of special that you're running. For instance, you're having 25% off on a certain product, maybe on like Thursday, or well, let's say Wednesday, you're going to have it up. So, you could have it start like 7 days before Wednesday, and you could have it pinned to the top that whole week. But you might want to just play around with maybe just having it a couple days before and try, because it may be having it up for a whole week might be too much. And people who may decide to come visit your page, every couple of days, if they see that same post up at the top again, they might be kind of curious, why you're doing that, or they'll just get bored and not want to scroll down any farther to see. You might have some other good new things that you posted that you want them to see, but because that one is sitting up at the top, it's going there. So, sorry, got distracted. Oops, let me go back here for 1 second. I accidentally clicked on my questions. I'm going to try to get to some questions at the end, so hang on to those. I forgot to tell you that earlier. But anyway, so to experiment, try it out for 2 or 3 days and see what works best for you. So that's one thing that you can consider doing. Now, as I jumped ahead here we go. Another feature of the timeline is the ability to create milestones, and these are significant events that happened in your company's history that you want to be able to tell your fans about. And what will be good about this and how this is going to kind of help your page be seen is that when you do create these milestones, they will show up in your newsfeed unless you I think there's a little box you can check if you don't want to do it. If, for instance, you're doing maybe 7 of them at one time, you don't necessarily want to barrage everyone with a whole bunch of milestones showing up. So, but if you're doing maybe you do one every week or something, when you click on, you'll be able to access the milestones right here from the status bar now. Actually, Facebook just changed this. I think last Friday or something. I think I noticed this for the first time. So when you're on your Facebook page, you've got the chance to you type in a status update. You can upload a photo, or you click on Event Milestone, and this little window pops up. So this is where you can create an event for your page, or create a milestone, or ask a question. Polling people too on your page, another good way to be able to get engagement. Ask questions. That's also a good one. So when you create a milestone, so just to give you an example, this is one CocaCola. If you want to go to CocaCola's page, they have a ton of milestones that they have put in there, so you can kind of get some ideas. And I love this one. This is kind of fun. If you read this, it's the letters that they got when they introduced new Coke. So I thought this is very cute. That at least they acknowledged that they screwed up when they changed the flavor of that. I still remember that. God, I can't believe it was 1985. Where has the time gone? Holy smokes! It was a long time ago now, but I still remember, and it was a really dumb idea. But they acknowledged that, and so so again, it's kind of cute that, you know, this was a faux pas that they definitely made, but the fact that they're willing to put this up on their Facebook page, you know, it shows they got a sense of humor. They acknowledge it. So don't be afraid to do that. To be able to, you know, to have it be a sense of humor and have fun with your Facebook page. That's one of the most important things, I think, beyond anything actually, that even beyond anything that I'm talking about today, is just remember, again, social media is social. We want to have fun. You want to be able to, you want to present a good information to your clients, but you want to have some fun too. It doesn't have to be so serious. You know, lighten up a little bit. Okay, another feature of Timeline that is new as well is the ability to highlight posts. And what happens here, again, it's when you, now this is where the little star, where you can pin by clicking on the pencil, remember. But if you click on the star, this is your way of, you can highlight something, and when you highlight it, what's going to happen is it's going to take over the two columns that are on your Timeline page. So it's going to make it really big. It's going to make it stand out. So, for instance, this one I was playing. I noticed was a could be an opportunity for you to highlight a testimonial. For instance, if someone, you know, posts something really nice about your business on your page, highlight it. Make it stand out so people will see that right away. Or again, if you're having a special, you know, offering some kind of special deal, you could highlight it. So as opposed to pinning it, so you could try highlighting it and see. So that's another way that's kind of cool that you can get people's attention on your Facebook page. Now this is a cool little ninja trick, as I like to call it, that I found out about from the great Mari Smith, who is really awesome for giving social media tips. She's really great, and I encourage you to follow her. You know, I'm glad if you follow my page. I certainly appreciate it, but I would also follow her too, because she has some great tips. And this is one that I found out about, is when you have your Facebook page and someone has commented on your something that you've posted. For instance, if you've posted a picture like I did here, and actually there's another thing I'm going to talk about here in a second, but is to, rather than commenting as your page, what you should do is comment as your profile. Now if you have a big company, this probably isn't going to work, because you probably have, you know, quite a few admins, so that wouldn't necessarily work. But if you are a small business owner and you're the sole admin, you know, proprietor of your business, what you can do is, and I'm going to show you in a second here. Actually, let me jump into it. What you'll do is, when you manage your settings on your Facebook page, when you go into the edit mode of your page, you will see up at the top where it'll say Manage Your Settings, and you click on that, and it's going to have these posting preferences. So what you're going to want to do is leave this box unchecked, because then what will happen is that means that you're going to be using Facebook as yourself. So for instance, whenever I go to my Gloria Rand SEO copywriter page and I comment on it, it's going to be as if it's just plain old me, Gloria Rand. And what this does is that it's going to help those comments show up better in the news feed, because it's another person essentially commenting on it as opposed to the page. And in Facebook's crazy edge rank that they have, it's going to show up better. See, if this box was checked, just because I know this really is kind of confusing, but if it was checked, I would be always commenting and posting on my page as my page. So if you want to be able to do it as yourself, just leave that box unchecked, and then you will do it. Now, it gets a little confusing then. If you do want to post as your page again, then you'll have to, either recheck it, or you'll have to go to, if we get a chance, I may go to my Facebook page at the end here, and I'll show you where you'd have to select, use Facebook as your page in order to post as your page. But anyway, that's how that will work. So let me just jump back here for 1 second. So you see these comments here, that it doesn't say Gloria Rand SEO copywriter. It just says Gloria Rand. So these are just my personal comments that I'm making, and so this way it helps with every time someone comments, it's going to show up. Now, let me point out to you that where I was doing this from is, this is another new change that happened to your Facebook timeline. You have insight. Facebook gives you insights into how your Facebook page is performing. And they just started doing, again, this was like I think last week or the week before, where they are updating those insights now every 5 to 10 minutes. So you can really check right away. I think before it was about a 4 or 5 day lag in time, but now you can go in and check and see how your posts are performing, how things are doing, and you can go in and look at that right away, which is great. So you can kind of get a feel for how things are doing on your page. And so that is something good that you want to take a look at. Well, we'll kind of get a little bit more into this in a minute. We'll share a little bit more information about that in a minute. Okay, so now, we've got our page ready. We're set. Now, how do we engage? I know this is what you really want to know, right? How do I get people to comment and like and share my stuff on Facebook? Okay, so what you need to do, number one, if at all possible, post photos. Post photos. You know why Pinterest has gotten to be so popular? It's because it's images. It's all about the images. We, our human beings are very visual people, and we love to see pictures. So photos get the most engagement on Facebook. I mean, look at this one here. They had 288 shares, 513 likes, and 21 comments. So this is what I've been doing this lately. I think within the last week I've been posting more pictures on my Facebook page, and I've been seeing it. I'm definitely getting a lot more comments on my page. So whenever possible, if you can come up with some photos to put or images, any kind of graphic, videos are also good. Now videos are like second. So photos are number one, videos are number two. Definitely do that. That's going to help you in getting your fans to engage on your page. Another thing that you can do is highlight your fans. You can pick, one thing I've been doing for a while now is I pick a fan of the week. And actually I was originally doing it myself, and then I found that there is an app on Facebook that will actually do it for you automatically, and it's called Fan of the Week for Pages. So if you want, you can add that to your Facebook page by just going to that app. So this is a cool way to be able to highlight people and, let your fans know that you appreciate them. So this is a good one to do. Another one, it's called Booshaka. I believe it's Booshaka. It's another app where they'll do like a whole listing of like your top fans, like your top 10 fans of the week or something. So that's another cool one that you can do. So it makes people feel good. Oh, and something else that I should have mentioned. The other thing you want to do when people do comment on your page, respond to them. I mean, especially if it makes sense, even if they're not necessarily asking a question per se, but if you acknowledge them and say, hey, yeah, thanks for, saying that, or, or I agree with you, or what have you, it shows that you're paying attention, and they're going to want, again, that's going to make them feel, valued, so they're going to trust you more, and they're going to want to keep coming back, paying attention to you. So make sure that you do acknowledge your fans when they comment, and definitely comment back to them. Another good strategy that is getting a lot of an engagement, again, this is something that that I've been doing, I actually do this with a couple other pages that I manage for some clients, is try the fill in the blank strategy. Put some kind of come up with something and make your fans answer. Make them do some work. Make them, fill in that last sentence here. So this was cool. This was a spa, and I believe they do like tattoo removal. So I just thought this was one that was kind of cute, that they said, I would never get a tattoo on my, here we got a whole bunch of people, forehead, face, blah, blah, blah. So this is a good way, and you see it got, 1 like and 7 comments. So, this is another strategy that you can do to be able to get people to engage. Now, excuse me 1 second. I just want to show you the admin panel a little bit more here. And when you go to your page, this automatically, most of the time, it shows up right at the top of your page when you go to it. Say if you've been browsing on your news feed and then you decide to go to your Facebook page, you usually see the admin panel first, and then your cover photo happens down below it. So this is where you're going to be able to kind of keep track of when people do make comments or like your things. You'll be able to see when you get new likes down here in the corner, the new likes that you've gotten on your page. People send messages. Now that's a new thing too, that your fans now have the ability to send you direct messages. Now you can't send them direct messages, but you can respond to them. So this is a good way, again, of being able to keep a dialogue going with people. So that's something good to keep in mind. And then, of course, here, this is what I was talking about. Here's the insights, and if you click on See All, you'll be able to get. This is where you're going to be able to see exactly how your page is doing, and I believe I've got that here. One of the insights that you should really take a good look at, that you want to monitor on a regular basis, is the people talking about this, because this is really the statistic that is going to tell you how well your content is performing, and so that you can see, okay, this post didn't work that well, let me try something else, or this one really did good, and oh, these photos are doing great, so I guess maybe I better do some more photos. So what you do is, over here I've got this little highlighted, these little icons kind of describe what kind of posts these are. So these were pictures, these were just I think a status update, and then this one, these two are links, so I think I had put a blog article or something there. And then this one was just a status update. And what you'll do is, when you go to this, by default it shows you the most recent ones, but if you click on any of these other columns, you can sort it. So for instance, this one I clicked on talking about this so I could have those highest numbers up here at the top. And then these virality percentages, these are like how well that your content did in connecting with your audience. And so like I said, as you see, the two that did the best were photos. See, like I said, definitely get more photos into your stuff. You're going to do a lot better with getting engagement. So I had 11 engaged users, the 9 people talking about this. Oh, and the other thing, if you actually click on this number, what will happen, I forgot to include that in this this webinar, but a little pie chart will come out, and it will actually break it down into how many likes, how many comments, and how many shares. So which is cool. So this might have been 8 likes and 2 comments, or 1 comment or something like that. So that's another very cool thing to do. Okay, let's see. How are we doing on time? Pretty good on time. Okay. I think we'll be able to get to some questions in a minute, but first thing I did want to let you know about is I have put together a Facebook Marketing with Timeline ebook where it has a lot of this information, but a lot more details about how you can, specific steps that you can take to get people to like your page, to get them to engage with you, and some more tips about how to handle your the cover photos and all these other strategies that I talked about today but with some more as well. So for anyone who is on the webinar today, it's normally $37, but I'm advertising it for $17, so you get $20 off, which is a good deal. Plus, the first 5 people who actually do go ahead and order that, I will give you a free 30-minute coaching session. And just to let you know, too, is that because Facebook changes so much, I am going to be updating this. In fact, I need to update it now. Actually, before you even get it, I want to throw in some things because I attended a workshop over the weekend where I learned some cool tricks about advertising, which we didn't get into here, which advertising is another way that you can get people to like your page, and but of course, it costs money. But there are some ways to do that, and so I'm going to be updating this book this week. So it will, if you do purchase it today, you probably won't get it in your email until next Monday. But if you do purchase it anytime there is something new and radical, I am going to update it, and I will automatically send it to you, so you will always get an updated version of this book, so you don't have to worry about it. So I hope that you will consider doing that, because it'll have a lot more information. So let's see, we have a few minutes left here today, so let me see. I'm going to try to get to some questions here, because I know I've got the little hand raises up here, and let's see, there are a little question box. Let me see. Let's see who's got some questions here. This is my challenge always with GoToWebinar, is how to read the questions, so bear with me. They don't make it very, this is the last webinar I'm going to be using this service for a while, because I'm not crazy about this. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, okay, someone was asking about some of the vehicle wraps and sign, okay, she has pictures of signs that she's done for her clients, and some of these are vehicle wraps, and they have their customer number. Will that be a problem? Well, I would say that, Robin, I would kind of caution you from including that in the cover photo. I mean, it might be okay, but if there's any way that you cannot put it in the cover photo specifically, I think you'd be better served. What you might consider doing instead, if you can have a different cover image, what you could do instead, though, is I would consider building a photo album with the different examples of the work that you've done for your customers, including those pictures. And then there's a couple things that you can do. Number one, when you upload all those pictures to a photo album, that the fact that you do that, it's going to go into your newsfeed, so people are going to see it. Your fans are going to see it. Number two, when you do upload it, what you could do is, if your customers, that the pictures you have of them, if they have a Facebook page, you could consider tagging them in the status update when you do it, or actually tagging the photo itself, number one, with their page, so that it will show up on their page and they'll be able to see it, and their fans will be able to see it. And it'll be a good way of, it's like you're building a portfolio, so that you'll be able to show people, this is the type of work that you do. So I would do it, I would say, rather than building it into your cover photo, see if you can do something else that doesn't have a phone number, but use those as a photo album. Absolutely, that would be the best way to do it. I recommend doing it that way instead. Let's see if we got anything else here. Oh, I know. Yeah, we had some. Let's see. I know that you were asking about. Let's see, I'm trying to think how else that you can get people to like, and oh, another thing. Oh, I know, yes, what I wanted to mention too. Another strategy that you can use to get people to like and share your content, it's a really tough one, but so I want you to listen. Tell them. Seriously, ask them. Say, or say, click like if you like this photo, or click like if you are a fan of vanilla ice cream. I mean, whatever, but actually include the phrase click like in your status updates or photos or what have you, people respond to the commands. They really do. It's just like if you were on Twitter and you tell people to please retweet this, odds are they're going to retweet it for you. So the same with on Facebook. Go ahead and say, please, click like, please share this with you, comment below. It seems so basic, but it really does make a difference, and it's going to help you it really is going to help you to get people to get more engagement on your page. So again, my kind of the core thing here is, have a little fun. You don't want to always be serious, or you want to provide good, helpful information to your fans. Quality information. You want to post every day, but I kind of abide by the 80-20 rule, so that 80% of the time your posts can be related to your business, but 20% of the time, go ahead and have fun. You don't have to have it be, talk about if you got plans for the weekend, talk about it. Or, today we had in Central Florida was the last day that the shuttle Discovery flew by. It was on the, on the back of that jumbo jet or whatever, and it's flying off to the Smithsonian. So, you could comment about that on your Facebook page. It doesn't always have to be about business. Keep it light and just have some fun, because you're going to find that you're going to be able to do business with people who like and trust you. And so if you're providing good information, they're going to trust you. If you present a likable image, then they're going to be more inclined to say, hey, you're doing a good job. I like what you're providing, and I'm going to recommend you to to my friends and my family, that if they ever need something, that they should come to you. Someone was asking about here. Let me go back a page about the ebook, and I double-checked the link. I am pretty sure you have to make sure that you use capital G for Gloria, capital E, and then lowercase b. I forgot when you're doing a bit.ly that you really do need to be precise about those upper and lowercase letters, because if you have like the E lowercase, it's not going to work. You're not going to get to the right place. So make sure it's capital G, capital E, everything else is lowercase, and then you can go there, and you'll be able to order the book. So let's see. I think that is just about everything that I wanted to cover today. Let me just actually make sure that I let you know about is that, please, if you do have any other questions that you think of something later, I always think of questions like a half an hour later that I wanted to ask. Go ahead and post them on my Facebook page, or send me a message if you don't want everybody in the world to see it. That's the other thing too. Messages are private, so if you don't want other people to see it, send the page owner a message, and I will be happy to answer it. Please. I'm always here, so you can send me an email at gloria@gloriarand.com, and definitely I will be more than happy to help you out with whatever questions you have about social media, not just Facebook, but if you are involved with if you have a blog or Twitter, LinkedIn, what have you. I'm definitely willing and able to help as best I can, and if I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for you. So I hope that you all got a lot out of this session, and we'll see you again next time. Have a wonderful afternoon, and go get your Facebook timeline ready and do some business and have some fun. Take care.